Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. I am out at Papakating Creek Disc Golf Course out in very northwest part of New Jersey. There is a tournament out here next weekend. I played in the tournament out here last year, the very inaugural one, like the day that they opened the park. It's a fun course, but it's got two layouts. It's got the red layout, which is a really fun layout. It's mostly par threes, a couple of par fours, gettable, good lines, and then they've got the white layout. And so if I play MA2 this upcoming weekend, the first round is whites, the second round is reds. Reds are a lot of fun. Whites, I came out with Pat and Dan last week, and we played most of the whites and then switched over and played about a round and a half of reds. The whites are tough. You have some holes that are only like 240 feet, but are par fives because there are no lines. They didn't cut down any trees to make a fairway. It is just throw it and hope you make it between trees. You're gonna get kicks. It's just a matter of where they go and can you scramble from where those kicks land. And we were all playing pretty horribly last weekend. So I'm out here today to try a different strategy, not throw the big shots, but try and throw smaller placement shots on those tighter gaps. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna warm up a little bit and then it'll be 2 off of the first. This is the first hole. This is it says 469 here. Udisc says 504. It's a par 4 up the hill. Beautiful one. 175 foot is what it says. Water carry right here. Not a big water carry, but nice fairway over there. Wide open. Just don't go in the barn down there, and don't go in the water, and you should be okay. So I'm gonna warm up a little bit and then we'll get to throwing. All right, first throws out of the car. We'll see how this goes. I'm gonna throw the strive on this first one. You do have a bit of a headwind, so it might flip a little bit. That's okay. Oh, geez. We're gonna ignore that one. All right, I'm gonna throw the Ella DD3. It's quite a ways out there. It's a little further to the right than I would have liked. Cool little turtle down there. I don't know if you can see, but there's 2 bullfrogs right there. Very cool. Might be able to hear them. One of them's moving, kind of coming this way. Big guy. I'm gonna just throw my putter. So from here, I'm just gonna throw my putter. Put it right under the basket. It'll be a tap in 3. All right, so here's where my putter landed. I'm just gonna use my Watt. Barely made that one in. And that's a birdie. Good way to start the first hole. All right, this one is interesting because there's no tee pad here. There's not even a line from where you're supposed to throw from. There's a sign over here, 325, downhill. You've got the basket right there between the trees down there. You've got some guardian bushes around, so you want to make sure that you're high enough to get over them, but low enough that you don't sail it and have it fade way over into the tall stuff over there. I'm going to go kind of right directly over this center bush with the reactor, drive it pretty straight, and then let it fade. A little shorter than I wanted, but it was the right line. All right, so definitely shorter than I wanted it, but it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. It is definitely mushy out here, squishy everywhere I stand, so. First real putt of the day. And just left it low. Good line. Easy tap in for the par. Moving on to hole 3, which is a tough one. All right, hole 3 is a 275 shot straight down through. it is very overgrown. You've got to get it at least like 125 or so before you're out of the really bushy big stuff like this right here. Then it is up through that little gap in the middle and then hard left. So I'm just going to throw the FD, try and throw it straight up through there, and just going to see what we can do. That looked really good. Exactly what I was trying to do. I honestly don't think I could have thrown a better shot. This is where it landed. We're gonna do a little flip and take, hopefully, another birdie. It's 2 down through 3. This is a tough one. I'm really happy with the way that flew, where I got it to. That was pretty awesome. Hole 3 is where things start to get a little bit interesting out here in the woods. There is a hyzer line up this way, very much straight ahead, pretty much where the tee pad is angled. The red tee is up on top of the hill up there. Now I should note this is a 240-foot par 4. I think the play for me is the forehand up this gap to get up to the red tee. Now, last time I played it, I actually went a little bit long, so I don't want to go as long as I did, but I also want to try not to hit those trees. It is a tight gap. Either way you go, it's a tight gap. So let's give it a shot. Okay, so I ended up clipping a tree, but it was generally in the right direction, and that shouldn't be too bad. Okay, from where I'm at, right behind this tree, there's not a tremendously good shot. I'm not gonna do a flip from here. There's a tunnel right in front of me. If I go up that and fade a little bit at the end, it should set me up for a good shot, but I need it to go fairly straight. This is a touchy one from here. I think it faded a little bit early. It's gonna probably put me down in the ditch. All right, so as I thought, I did get it in a little bit of a bad spot right down here. You can see that it's a pretty precarious spot up there where that basket's set. I think I'm gonna go with this razor claw tactic. Just set it up there. And then even with that, left myself a little more than I wanted, but should be, yep, easy enough. For a 240-foot par 4. Hole 5 is 322 feet, straight down this tunnel, and then a hard right. The basket is just over the crest of a hill that then drops off steeply behind it, so you don't want to do too much running of this basket. I'm just going to try and lace it up through this gap, have myself a shot at it from there. I leaked that a little bit to the left. Oh, that kick was not good. That's what happens out here. This kick was almost okay. So I'm behind the red. Had I been 10 more feet, I would have had more of a direct shot. From here, I think it's gonna have to be a forehand. I'm gonna have to aim for a gap over here. Hope that I get a little bit of a skip or something, but don't have much. I don't have much. All right, I got it through where I wanted, so that's a plus. Okay, I got myself back out into the fairway. You can just see the top of the band right there. So you can see how it definitely goes over the crest and then it drops off right beyond it. So I'm not trying to run this. I'm trying to get on this side of it, just lay it up and go for the par. Sounded like it sat. We'll have to see. So it looks like I got kind of lucky with where it decided to sit. So it come right around this tree. It must have hit something right here, ended up against this stick, but easy 4 on a par 4. Hole 6 is 260 feet, blind. It's a hyzer or a fade around the corner here. Very narrow gap that you've got to hit, and it's a tough one. It is a tough one. There's lots of trees, not a lot of open area on here. Okay, so I had enough spin on that, and it hit outside enough that it actually continued around, came back pretty much to the fairway. Not a great shot, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Now this actually landed in a pretty good spot. Uphill, got a gap all the way up to the basket. Just gonna go with my Watt. Try and lace it right up there. Of course that would happen. So good at hitting trees. Well, it would appear my bogey-free round is about to end on hole 6. Honestly, surprised it hadn't ended sooner. Ooh, very slippery. I'm gonna take a pretty wide base on this one. Oh, was actually close to safing that par. Okay, and so 4 bogey, taking me back to 1 under. There we go. Hole 7 is one that I tried to bite off more than I probably should have during the practice round we did last week, and ended up pinched way off to the right in the woods. Not a good spot. I actually had a decent recovery. I had to pitch out and then had a decent recovery. But there's really 2 lines here. There's one on the left that if you're throwing a forehand, you definitely want to go with the left and then have it fade back into the fairway. The fairway goes straight up here to the red tee box and then goes kind of dogleg to the right. I think what I want to do is go up this right side gap. I'm going to use the MD1, go fairly straight with a little bit of fade at the end, and put it up by the red tee box. That's kind of the play I want to do. We'll see if I can actually execute it, but hit a tree, went deep on the left. It's not going to be great. Put it a little bit higher than I wanted to. I hit the line. If I didn't mention it before, this one is 256, par 4. I don't have a great line, but I may be able to punch something straight through. It's tight, but I might be able to punch something straight through, get it past and have it fade hard. I'll go with the MD4. It's not a great idea. I'll tell you that. It's not a great idea. And it wasn't a great idea. Okay, from this MD4, I still don't have a lot. I've got a pretty small gap right there for a forehand. I'm gonna have to push it hard, try and get it up the hill around that big tree, but I don't honestly know that I can do that. We will see. Oh, I think I did it. I actually did. Okay, surprised me. All right, the placement of this was actually really, really nice. A couple different plays I could go with on this one. I've thought about going the forehand up around. I think I'm just gonna run the Watt straight at it from here. This is throwing 4, so if this doesn't go in, it'll be a bogey, at least. Okay, good run. Okay, not a bad one. It settled over here under these trees. So, another bogey, 2 in a row, back to even par. I'm gonna throw my Sphinx on this one. Just try and lace it right up the fairway. Gotta be careful, this tee pad is extremely, extremely slippery. Okay, it's up there, we'll see. All right, you can clearly see from here that there's no real line. The basket is still, you can't see it. It's over the hill, down that way. Yeah, there's really not much in the way of lines here. I'm gonna aim at a big tree out there in front of me. Hope that I hyzer a little bit around it. Oh, it's gonna be a tough little tunnel shot right here. MD1 is my choice. A little bit of an early release, slipped out of my hand. It was low, but it actually got through quite a bit, so might have a look for getting it down to the basket for the par. All right, so we're throwing 3 on a par 4, and we still barely can see the basket. It is through those trees, in between a circle of, I think, 4 trees down there. I think the only real play I've got is a forehand laced through here, and then crashing back. So that's what we're gonna try. Try and get, oh, these things hurt. Ah, man. Perfect, exactly what I was looking for. So it actually crashed in a little bit sooner and dove down a little bit further than I had expected, but still should be an easy par save. All right, hole 9 is another par 4. This one goes down, you've got the log across the road there, and then it curves to the right, and then it curves back to the left, and it goes straight down to the basket. This one's just shy of 500 feet, 492, par 4. The best play here is something that's going to either carry straight and then fade from a forehand over to the red tee, or something that you'll get a little bit of a flex to the right and then back to the left to land on the fairway up past the red basket. Thinking for this one, I'm not exactly sure. My turnover hasn't been as consistent as I want it to be. Ever since my origin became too flippy and I took it out, put the detour back in, I'm not exactly sure. So I think I'm gonna go with the forehand and do the FD1, try and carry it straight and then have it fade a little bit. I put that way too high, way too high. All right, so I'd said I wanted to get to the red tee, and I more or less did that. There's the red tee. I'm just above it here on this slope, which is not ideal by any means. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough shot off of here to not hit any of this stuff, get it cleanly through. Faded out very early. All right, so not a great lie. Think the play is just to throw the MD1 again, try and get it through some of these trees, but I'm gonna hit something. That got much further up than I thought it would. All right, this is for par. Not the easiest shot for par, but it's doable. I do have a couple of little trees in the way. Have to hang it out a little bit to the right. Okay, well, looks like a bogey. Hole 10 is the most beautiful hole on the course. There's some mowing going on back here, so bear with me. They're trying to clean it up, but I think that I'm gonna go with the zone on this one, and I'm gonna go over the water. There is a forehand gap down through this way that can get you over there, but I like to play. It's a little bit risky, but I like to play over the water. So that's what we're gonna do. And I got knocked down, but it's down there. I think it kissed one of these two trees in front of me and kicked back here. Otherwise, it would have been a little closer, but it's workable. Just a little off. After a bogey, par doesn't feel too bad. This is one you would definitely like to get though. So if you carry it further down, got a nice window right here. If you can just get it past the big tree, nice window comes in, sets you up perfect. There are again two lines you can take on this one. 260 feet, par 3. You can go down this gap or you can go down this gap. Forehand this way is pretty wide open. Backhand this way, you got to get lucky to get through some. So we're going to try and pump the forehand out there and see how it goes. I'm going to go FD1. It just feels good in the hand. Oh, there's one tree down there. One tree. Had I cleared the tree, would have been perfect. But of course, I smacked it. So here you can see, I hit this tree. Right there's the basket. Had it not hit this tree coming from this direction, would have faded right where I needed it to. But alas, I hit the tree. Seems about right. And pretty crappy upshot. Should be able to save par from there. Better be able to save par from there. We'll see. Oh, gonna have to come out a little bit. But yes, good enough. Not a great upshot, but good enough for the par. Okay, I'm actually not sure that I caught the first shot on 12. 283 foot par 4. Threw a forehand up the gap, faded up here. This is par 4, so this is shot 2. Trying to get up to the top of the hill. A little bit of fade. Get me over kind of towards the basket. I think, I'm kind of thinking envy on this one. Just something I can easily toss up there, hit the line, and just get it kind of close for a little bit of a look. We'll see. About as good as I could do. I didn't leave myself a great one here for the birdie. Oh boy. Looks like I'm gonna have to step down the hill and come up through. I don't know if you guys can you see the basket through me? I don't know. Let's give that another try with the envy. Should have been a birdie, but it'll be a par. And a par, on to 13. Hole 13, 191 foot par 3, pretty straight up the gap. A little bit of turn would probably work out well. The basket is kind of hidden in a small little clump of trees, and then it has a pretty steep downhill to the left of it, so you don't want to fade too much. Run up here is pretty small, cut off. That could be perfect. That might be perfect. Well, what I thought was perfect was actually fairly long. Put me, I don't know, 35 feet past the basket. Got the bird. Hole 14 is a tough one. It is way up that hill. So it's a very uphill shot, very narrow gap that you've got to get. And what makes it worse is you've got one little overhanging branch right here that if they just cut that would open it up so much more, but it's in your way. I think I'm gonna go with the FD on this one. Just trying to throw it straight up the hill, not trying to do anything special with it. That's perfect. Up past the red tee. Great spot. Whew, the walk up here got me out of breath. So I got quite a ways past the red. Gives me a great shot. So I'm going to go forehand right up straight through this gap. I'm going to aim kind of at that tree. Put it a little bit high so that it fades, because straight up there is where the basket actually is. So go stand still. Just kind of flip it up there. It was more inside than I wanted, but it actually looked like it had a great flight. All right, this is where it landed, right here. Give it a flip. And this is for birdie. Rare birdie on this hole, at least for me. Okay, so hole 15, 275, par 3. Punch something straight, have it fade a little bit. It's up on the hill. Actually, I think I'm going to swap this out. I'm going to go with the reactor. Could be really good. So this one made it up here onto this green. Beautiful green. Lots of good scenery on this one. I'm going to go with the flip. See if we can get 3 birdies in a row. I got to get kind of low, get under that, drive it in there. And I just kept it low the whole time. And we'll just tap this one in. All right, hole 16, 212. It's kind of a downhill, a little bit down to the right. So something that's pretty straight with a little bit of turn is going to be perfect, but you do have a lot of trees to contend with. The other play is to go kind of high with a forehand and let it fade down the hill. Problem with that is, depending on how fast it is, a skip could put you way down the hill. That's not where you want to be. So I'm going to try and just go smooth down the middle. Got another one of the Greystone guys out here playing right now, so I let him play through, and we'll get it when he's done. That's not good. It's pretty high. All right, not bad. I'm over here. Got a straight line down to the basket, but it's one of those that if you miss it, it's going to go a long way. Got some trees right in front of me, so I'm just going to pitch it and lay it up. For a layup, I put that awfully far past. Snuck it in, barely. 17 is a tough one. It is 400 feet, par 4, straight, and then a hard turn to the right. Then I'm going to throw the detour, see what I can do here. I think last year I threw the function, and it worked out really well, but my power is increased, and I don't want to screw that up. So we'll try and go pretty flat with detour. See what we can do. Oh, great shape. Made it around the corner, hit a tree, popped back. All right, this is actually not a horrible place. It hit that tree over here, kicked straight this way, landed here, and it is pretty much a straight downhill shot to the basket. I could go with the zone on a forehand down through, or I could go with a little bit of turnover on this watt. I actually think I want to try the zone play. We'll try the zone. See what we can do here. Keep it downhill. A little more fade. A little more fade than I wanted. I think I put it a little too high. Okay, it should be somewhere. There it is. Okay, we do actually have a look for birdie here. Let's see what we can do. Yeah. Nope. Guess it was luck. Hole 18, 333, par 3, down the hill. I'm gonna go with the FD and just kind of try and get it through that hole, lace it down there, and see if we can get down there. Not the gap I was looking for, but it is down there. That was pretty crappy. All right, this is where my FD landed right here. I don't know. It's gonna be a tester for me for sure. Got, it's like a little bit of a crosswind. Not much right this second. So we're gonna go at it. And went a little high, a little outside. Yeah. And that's par. So that ends it with, let's see, that one being a par. Actually 2 under. So not a bad round at all. If I could do that during the tournament, which is highly unlikely because I always screw up during a tournament. But fun course. All right, so I just finished up at Papakating and drove down here to the 9-hole course I've been shooting at. And I wanted to say that I think that after playing out there, the course is pretty good. I think that if you're playing position shots rather than trying to bite off a lot, it can be done a whole lot better. I ended up with either 1 or 2 down. I don't recall at this point. I could look it up, but I think I was 2 down for the round, which was pretty damn good. For me anyway, that was really good. So I think I will go ahead and sign up and play, but for today, I'm back out here to shoot some shots. But that was it for this round. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Had some good shots, had some bad shots, and that's kind of how things go. I'm sure that during the tournament I'll have a lot more bad shots because that's just kind of how I play. But thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the round at Papakating.